Hi guys, my name is Lizelle from Lizelle Loves Books and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today's video is going to be my recap of the books that I read for the historical romance readathon. The readathon took place starting from the 20th through the 23rd. Thursday to Sunday. And I read 4 books for the readathon, so I'm gonna tell you which books were my favorite. I liked all of them, but I have 2 favorites for the readathon. I decided to do away with the 5th book because I realized I just couldn't do it. I was listening to the audiobooks on AnyPlay, and AnyPlay only goes up to 1.75 speed, so I just couldn't read more than 4. And the book for the group pick didn't have an audiobook, so I decided not to read that one because I can't read historicals if they don't have audiobooks or if they're not on Kindle Unlimited. So anyway, the first book I read for the historical romance readathon is The Hunter by Kerrigan Byrne. And The Hunter starts off with Christopher, who's an assassin. We start off the story with Christopher receiving a job from this man, and this man shows him a picture of a little boy. And Christopher says to this man, there must be a mistake because I don't assassinate children. That's one of his rules of assassination, that he doesn't assassinate children. And the man was like, no, I don't want you to assassinate the boy. I want you to kill the mother, essentially. And so, since it's the mother and not the boy, Christopher agrees. So, his target, her name is Millie. She's like a somewhat famous actress. I don't think she's super famous. I think she's somewhat famous. And he starts stalking her. And every time he attempts to assassinate her, something always goes wrong. And the more he follows Millie and the more he fails to assassinate her, he ends up being intrigued by her. And by the second assassination, by the second failed assassination, she's like, look, whatever they're paying you, I can pay you double. If you just stay away from me and my son. But he makes her a counter offer. He says, you give me your butt. You give me one night with you for like 1 day. And you and your son will be under my protection. So Millie and this boy goes to Christopher's house with this was a very big house with a maid and a butler and everything, and they have their night together, and of course it turned into more than that. Like, Christopher is supposed to assassinate Millie, but he falls for her instead. So he takes Millie and her son under his protection, and he's trying to figure out who wants her assassinated, and Millie is trying to help him with that. And by the way, there is a subplot that prestigious women in the area and their sons are winding up being murdered. So there are two mysteries going on. And we find out as we read the book that Millie's son is not really her son. It's her best friend's son. But her best friend dies, and the only one her best friend trusts to take care of her son is Millie. So Millie says this boy is her son for her best friend's sake. This is a dark historical romance. The things Christopher goes through in the epilogue, like being captured with him and his mom, and it was very dark. I liked Highwayman better than The Hunter. The Highwayman I gave 5 stars, and The Hunter I gave 4 stars. I think I like The Highwayman better because there were 2 kids in the orphanage who fell in love years later. Like, they find each other again. There's something about that I really liked. So yeah, I like The Highwayman better. I'm excited to continue the series. I just didn't want to read 3 dark historical romances in a row. The next book I read was Nora Roberts' Rebellion, and it's about Serena and her brother's British best friend. Serena, at a young age, she had the prejudices. She doesn't like the British because when she was younger, British soldiers come to their house and treat her mom very badly, and she was the one who had to take care of her. She was the one who had to take care of her mom after the British came and did what they did. So when her brother Colin comes back from the war and brings his British best friend with him, Serena is not happy because, as I said, she has a all her family really likes the best friend because they think he's really nice, but Serena wants nothing to do with him, but the best friend really takes a liking to Serena because she is different from any other girl he's met before, cause she doesn't fall at his feet. And through forced proximity and really getting to know this person, she realizes that not all British people are bad people. And there, of course, a romance ensues. I like this book. I gave it 4 stars. I loved the beginning of this book, but the middle kind of fell flat for me. But I really like the narrator, so that's why I gave it 4 stars. It probably should have been a 3.5, but as I said, I really liked the narrator of this book. She did great with the accents. The last 2 books I read for the readathon were by Minerva Spencer. Hold on one second. The name is Dangerous by Minerva Spencer, and I really liked this book. It was so unique. I haven't read anything like it. I read this book because I heard Jen from the Book Refuge talk about it last year, and this was my chance to read about it. And in Dangerous, we have Mia, and at the age of 14, Mia was captured by a sultan and brought to his harem. And when the sultan dies, his son orders Mia dead. Mia and her son, who is the other son of the sultan, so her son is like, you have to go back to England. It's too dangerous for you here where we are. So, but when Mia comes back to England, all her father wants to do is marry her off because he doesn't want anybody to know that she was kidnapped and captured. And all her younger brother wants is to keep her sheltered. So she goes along with her father's wishes for her to marry someone because she needs the dowry, the money she's gonna get when she's married. And then the person she married is Adam. And Adam has a story of his own. He doesn't live with his daughters. 2 of his wives died. And everybody's mourning her not to marry Adam because what if she's next? But Mia doesn't care. All she cares about is going back to be with her son wherever she came. I can't remember the name of the place, But when they get married, like Adam and Mia are really attracted to each other, and they get to know each other, and
I forgot to mention the reason why Adam wants to get married is because he needs an heir. He needs a son.
But she tells Adam that her son died. And so there's a miscommunication happens when she leaves, because she got a note saying her son has been kept in the dungeons by his stepbrother. So she leaves on a boat, and there's this big miscommunication because Mia doesn't tell Adam about her son. But I really like this book. I gave it 5 stars. If you want to read about like shipwrecks and pirates and a marriage of convenience with a lot of action, please read Dangerous by Minerva Spencer. I gave it 5 stars. It was really interesting, and it was really steamy for a historical romance. Minerva Spencer can write very steamy scenes. It was a 3 on my spice scale. And the last book I read is also by Minerva Spencer. It's called Phoebe. And Phoebe's family, their wealth has gone down the drain. So her dad offers one of his sisters to this duke named Paul. And during the family meeting, when they were introduced to Paul, and Paul tells them that he has a daughter and he's going to keep the mother of his wife as his mistress. And Phoebe's like, you're gonna have him, and Phoebe insults him because you're gonna have a mistress when you're married to my sister. And so Paul leaves because he felt very insulted. And Phoebe's mother's like, what did you do? This could have helped us. You have to go and apologize to the Duke, whose name is Paul. And Phoebe goes to Paul's ball to apologize for insulting him, for insulting him about the way he keeps his mistress. And he's like, I forgive you if you marry me instead of your sister. Because he's like, I find you more attractive than your sister because you're not afraid to say what's on your mind. And Phoebe is very taken aback. But she said yes because her sister is only 17 years old. And she has nothing to lose because Phoebe was engaged once before, but she broke it off. She broke off her previous engagement because her fiancé, Sebastian, was caught in the act with another girl, so she broke off the engagement. And as they spend time together and they are married to each other, Phoebe finds out she severely misjudged him. And there's a reason why he wants to keep his daughter's mother as his mistress. There's a very good reason for that. I don't want to say what it is, because if I say what it is, it will spoil the plot. And Phoebe is a virgin in the story, and Paul helps Phoebe come to terms with her own sexuality and make her see that there was nothing wrong with her in the first place, that it was her ex-fiance's fault that she feels the way she does about her body. But Paul is very sweet to Phoebe, and what I like about this book is every time there's a misunderstanding, they talk about it. There's no miscommunication. They always talk about it. The steamy scenes were good. And there was a lot of family drama on Paul's side, but I can't say anything because that will spoil the plot. But please, if you haven't read Minerva Spencer, please read Dangerous and Phoebe. Those were my favorite 2 books of this readathon. By the way, this readathon was hosted by Jess from Peace Love Books, Lacey from Lacey's Book Lovers, and Lisa from Remarkable Lisa. And I just want to say thank you to Jen from the Book Refuge for recommending Minerva Spencer, because I really liked her books. I really had a fun time with this readathon. Please comment down below if you had read any of these books that I mentioned today. Please let me know down below if you participated in the readathon. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Thank you.